She's ready? Okay, brilliant. We've got one more act. Give it up. Hardest spot on the bill, man. Last act of the evening. Come on, let's keep the energy in the room. Let's get the applause going, get the energy around the room. I welcome the final act for the evening, David Broadbent.
Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now? Yes! Hardest part of the gig done. Good evening, everybody. We all good? Excellent. My name's David. I'm from Oldham. Wow, 2 sarcastic cheers. Excellent. That means you know all about Oldham. I'm very proud to be from Oldham, except when I go on holiday. And the reason for that is because we're all northern and we're friendly, and when we're on holiday, we start talking to people. And then after about 2 minutes, they say, "Where are you from?" Well, this presents us with a problem, because Oldham is currently famous for COVID, Myra Hindley, and racism. So we think very carefully for a good 2 or 3 seconds before we reply, "Manchester." Because if we say Oldham, we get that look. You know the one. It's 1/3 fear, 1/3 sympathy, and 1/3, "How the fuck have you afforded this holiday?" And that's just in Blackpool. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oldham, I don't know if you know it, it's a town a few miles away from here, and it's on the Metrolink. We're all very excited about that. Unfortunately, the tram stop in Oldham is named after a disease that can kill kids. The tram stop in Oldham is called Oldham Mumps. No one bats a fucking eyelid about this. Can you imagine on Metrolink Altrincham hepatitis, East Didsbury leukemia, or Rochdale syphilis? Oh, actually, the last one works. The last one's all right. I like going to London. I know that's a tough confession for a northern boy, but I like going to London mainly because it's posh. There are parts of West London that are so posh, even the Greggs is called Gregory's. That's how posh it is. I got invited down there because I have got some friends in London because, you know, they're doing well. And I got invited down for the Queen's Jubilee street party in South London. It was amazing. There was bunting hanging out from all the windows. Jerusalem and Rule Britannia were blasting out, and people were waving Union Jacks, and not even in a racist way. It was fantastic, but it was a street party in London. And ladies and gentlemen, I shit you not, 43 types of hummus were put out on that day, and something called crudités. I'm from Oldham. I grew up thinking vegetables came in tins. So, yeah, that was good. Though in Oldham, we also celebrated the Queen's Jubilee, how we know how. We gathered in the local park and set fire to a car. It was a Vauxhall. We're patriotic, if nothing else. So I grew up in Oldham in the 90s, and my school was all right. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to be a supply teacher there, but it was all right. In fact, one day, a group of Year 11s kidnapped a supply teacher and locked him in a library, which came as a massive shock to me. I had no idea we had a fucking library. Massive shock. All's well that ends well, though. He's now on a small island on the north coast of Scotland in lifelong rehab. One of the things we did have was that rite of passage. Do you all remember the school disco? 3 of you, fucking brilliant. None of that American prom ball that you get now. Proper school disco, you know, the ones where the school gym is magically done up to be a school gym, chaperoned by the very teachers that should not have been within 5 miles of a school disco. I mean, it kept them at the park on a Friday night, I suppose, but there was always that one as well who'd smell your breath when you went in. And I've never understood that until recently when I found out that, in fact, it was just a bloke having teenagers heavy breathe on him. He doesn't work there anymore either. School discos, though, they were brilliant. As a group of lads, we'd be there, you know, not talking to the girls, drinking our vodka, smuggled in like Tizer bottles. And it'd get to just before 9 o'clock, because 9 o'clock was when our parents came to pick us up. And then we'd have the courage to go and talk to the girls. Yes. Well, the girls that weren't outside in a car park, getting fingered in Fiat Puntos by their 19-year-old boyfriend. That laugh means it was you, doesn't it? There we go. Sometimes the night would go well, and we'd get a little bit of a snog under the climbing ropes. Sometimes the night would go very, very well, and you'd end up rubbing at the front of each other's jeans with enough ferocity to start a fire. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot penetrate denim with a finger. We fucking tried. It's like feeding a cat through a letterbox at times. Yeah, I know, that's horrible, isn't it? Life's changed a little bit now. I'm getting older. I'm 40 in a few months, and I'm really not looking forward to it. Gone are all the exciting days, lads' holidays, stag do's, parties and all that. We've replaced them with garden centres, christenings and fucking IKEA, which is the worst place in the history of the world. But as a friendship...
Well done, David. David Broadbent making it through to the final clap-off.